with a status update on WWE stars and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Asking pro wrestling fans to stop using a particular term, AEW star Dustin Rhodes wrote this on X. Please stop using the term jobber. It is extremely disrespectful to everyone who is putting their bodies on the line each week. All of us are enhancement talent. We enhance each other's careers. Show compassion to everyone that steps in this business and works hard enhancing others. With it previously rumored that WWE had discussed introducing a Women's United States and Intercontinental title, Sean Ross Sapp said this about it on the Fightful Select Backstage Report podcast. I just heard that they were discussed, not that they are happening as of yet. As Dalton Castle is said by AEW President Tony Khan to be out of action for 6 months following his match against Roderick Strong on Collision. More information was provided by Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live. Dalton got knocked out by Roderick Strong, but apparently was not diagnosed with a concussion. The reason that he's out for the rest of the year actually has nothing to do with his head, but he suffered a different injury and needs surgery. What the injury is, I don't know specifically. Talking about his time as director of VOD and supervising producer of WWE, John Carlin said this about being alongside former executive producer Kevin Dunn, telling Conrad Thompson, "It was hard. It was never easy. He certainly had a high bar. At times, I didn't like it, to be honest. Our relationship was good for the most part. We had a couple of ups and downs. We also had times where we had fun after the show, where we would hang out in a group and he'd be part of that. It was hard. There was a lot of things there. It's difficult because there were things that were handled differently than I would have handled them personally. There were certainly some policies that not all of us agreed with. He was the boss. It was what it was. There are people who are still there that grew up from Kevin that may have some of these same qualities that I may not necessarily agree with. But we rolled with it day to day. It wasn't like I worked a lot with him directly. I had a little tenure on the road. That was my closest interaction in a professional environment. He was around if there were shoots that were very important. There were other times where we had fun and we had old production meetings. Every time we came back from the road, KD would run the production meeting with all the producers. He would give a recap of the week and we'd go through different things and people would have questions. KD is a big Raiders fan. I'm a big Patriots fan. We're leading up to the Tuck Rule game in 2001. Stephanie McMahon used to go to the production meetings. We got close because we grew up Patriots fans and went to school down the street from each other in Boston. I told Steph before the meeting, underneath my work clothes, I have my Tom Brady jersey on. At the end, he's going to ask if anyone has questions. I'm going to get up and say, "We'll see you this weekend," and I'm going to rip my work shirt off and spin around. "Will you have my back?" She said, "I have your back." We went through the meeting. I was dying inside thinking, am I really going to do this? I did it. Everybody popped and laughed. He looked at me and goes, "I'll tell you right now, if they win this game, your ass is fired." It never happened. It was all in fun. It was great. That it was a fun interaction with him. He's certainly controversial, no question. A lot of that outside stuff is inaccurate, but a lot is accurate. At the Ring of Honor tapings, Kevin Von Erich can be seen delivering iron claws. Sharing her experience working with the chief content officer of WWE Triple H, Liv Mogan said this with Rusev and Rose on The Big Show. Working with Triple H has been amazing. I grew up a huge fan. But I never thought someone I idolized would one day be my boss and I'd be under his guidance and tutelage. He's so helpful with any questions that I have or anything I'm thinking. He's always open to listen and to help me out. I couldn't be more grateful for that. I walk into work so excited every single week to see what kind of shenanigans we're going to get into. It's a very happy, open, creative atmosphere that I think all of my coworkers appreciate as well. It's been nothing short of amazing and fun. I'm looking forward to showing up to work this Monday and seeing what we're going to get into. Revealing the most disappointing part of his run with All Elite Wrestling, Mark Henry said this to Forbes. My least favorite part, man, maybe that I didn't get to finish with all of the people that I was helping. I felt a sense of abandonment when I left. There's still people that I mentor and talk to. They call me every day. But then there's some that I started and I didn't finish, and it just kills me to not be able to have an impact on their life. Recalling his fears when making his return to WWE, Cody Rhodes told Diamond Dallas Page, they could have just fully rejected me. Here's this guy, he went off and started his own company. He was real bitter about how he left, mid-card, jobber, all of this. They really could have gone a different way with it, and that wasn't the case. Somebody asked me at Mania, why do you think they've stuck with you? And the only thing I could tell them was that I think it resonated with them. My story is a real story. During that same interview, Cody Rhodes reflected on the build-up to WrestleMania earlier in the year. As he said, I know we could have made anything work in any direction we took it. However, I feel like if I had to do this all over again, I wouldn't want anything to change. The story was different in terms of it wasn't as simple as comes back to WWE, wins WWE Championship. There were things that needed to happen, individuals I needed to be in the ring with, people I needed to be around. Also, the WWE audience, the wrestling audience, I have nothing but positive things to say about the fans ever. I can't find a negative in anything that they do, but they didn't have to respond to me the way that they did. You can set the booking or the matches that you're in or the TV time that you get. These things were trying to lead the audience, but they could have fully rejected me. Wrestling is a suspension of disbelief, but when it's real, it's just the best. For a health update on Will Ospreay and MJF following their bout on AEW Dynamite for the international title, which lasted nearly an hour, Ringside News wrote that after the match, AEW's medical team rushed to the ring using ice packs and oxygen tanks. MJF was seen wearing an oxygen mask, but it appears that it was all part of the show. Sean Ross Sapp reported on Fightful Select that MJF and Will Ospreay were fine after their nearly hour-long match. Both gave their all in the opening match of AEW Dynamite's 250th episode, but they are going to be okay. Mourning the loss of his dog, AEW star Kyle O'Reilly wrote this on Instagram. Today we said goodbye to our dear, sweet Hank as he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. As heartbreaking as it is, I can't help but smile at the amazing and joyous memories he's given us. For almost 13 years, he's been a source of comfort and strength for our family, and it won't be the same without him. Dogs really are spiritual healers, and Hanky Poo earned his wings. Many say we don't deserve dogs, and while it's hard to argue, I have to disagree. Humans deserve dogs just like we deserve love, comfort, laughter, loyalty, and a belly to rub. Dogs give us all of those things with a wagging tail as bonus. I think dogs might be the best part of humanity. Thanks for everything, Hank. Give shadows but a sniff. You guys will be best friends until we cuddle again. Your loyal friend forever, Kyle. with it rumored by PWN that Tamina Snuka was not listed on the WWE internal roster. An update has been provided as Ringside News wrote that Tamina has been notably absent from in-ring competition for a very long time, and this has made fans wonder if she's even with the company now. With rumors suggesting she was removed from WWE's internal list, we now have clarification in that regard. Recently, reports surfaced on social media that indicated that MVP, along with Bobby Lashley and Tamina, had been removed from WWE's internal roster. However, it was then reported that both Bobby Lashley and MVP are still listed on WWE's internal roster, contrary to the rumors of their removal. Tamina's status still remained uncertain, but that's all in the past as well. PW Insider reports that despite online rumors suggesting Tamina has been removed from the WWE roster, she is still listed internally under the company's miscellaneous section as of 11 a.m. Monday. Tamina's last in-ring appearance was on the February 27, 2023 episode of Main Event, where she lost to Michin. The week prior, she teamed with Dana Brooke and lost a tag team match on Main Event. Her last premium live event appearance was at the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match. Since then, she hasn't wrestled or been seen at WWE shows. We had previously reported that Tamina remains under contract with WWE. Following his release from WWE months back, which came as a shock to many fans, Trevor Lee, who went by Cameron Grimes in the company, noted that he is officially a free agent and that his 90-day non-compete clause has come to an end. Lee is set for an appearance at Elevation Pro Wrestling in Lexington, North Carolina on Saturday. In a recap of events having to do with Hulk Hogan allegedly relieving a brand ambassador due to their race, Ringside News wrote that Hulk Hogan has faced numerous accusations in the past, with racism topping the list. A woman aspiring to be a social media influencer recently saw her dreams dashed when Hulkster allegedly crushed her hopes of becoming a brand ambassador. She claims going public about it led to her being blackballed. Essence Janai, the influencer, used TikTok to reveal that Hogan hired her as an ambassador for his Real American beer, but fired her the next day upon discovering she is black. Since making this accusation public, Janai says work opportunities have dried up for her. In response to the allegation from Janai, a spokesperson for the brand said, "We are deeply troubled by the false rumors circulating on social media that a brand ambassador hired by a third-party marketing agency was terminated by Hulk Hogan for racial reasons. Real American Beer simply terminated its short-term relationship with the third-party marketing agency. Hulk Hogan was not involved in that decision, and race was not a factor. We are in communication with the agency in an attempt to clear the misunderstanding and incorrect information, and believe that this false statement will be withdrawn." The accuser has now said this in a clip on TikTok.
Hey guys, I just want to start by saying thank you for the overwhelming amount of support that I received over my most recent viral video regarding the cancellation of my contract for Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. I was hired by an agency better known as brandambassadors.com, and for those who have been asking, I have yet to receive any justification as to why my contract was even canceled. Unfortunately, after everything happened, in full transparency, I have yet to be booked by another brand, and I truly believe that it's due to this situation. I was contracted to promote Real American Beer for the first week of July, starting on the 2nd and ending on the 6th, but after my first day of work on the 2nd, my contract was abruptly canceled with no reason as to why, which is so weird because I later discovered that the events were not canceled and I was actually replaced by a whole new group of brand ambassadors. Now, this is the first time that I have ever experienced such treatment in this industry, and I just want to know why. Why was my contract canceled? Now, this situation is very unfortunate, but I believe that it highlights a broader issue here with minority influencers, content creators, and brand ambassadors all across the world. We often encounter disparities in our pay, recognition for our contribution, and what is the reasoning as to why? Lack of communication and fairness in this instance is a huge reminder of the challenges that we continue to face in this industry. And for those who have sent kind messages and responses to my previous video, I appreciate the overwhelming support during this time. Since this incident incident, I have realized that it is my purpose to be an advocate for minority influencers, content creators, and brand ambassadors all across the world. This situation will not be swept under the rug, and my statement will not be withdrawn. We need answers. Why was my contract canceled, Hulk Hogan? Why was my contract canceled, Real American Beer? Why was my contract canceled, brandambassadors.com?
In some unfortunate news, WWE Tag Team Champion Johnny Gargano revealed his father's restaurant burned down, writing this on X. I figured I should touch on this because people are finding out. And I know a lot of wrestling fans were looking forward to going to my dad's restaurant when they were in Cleveland for SummerSlam. Last night there was a fire and my dad's restaurant was badly damaged. I'm grateful that my dad was not there and is okay. He is 82 years old. This is his life's work. He has worked in that building every day for almost 50 years. I basically grew up there, and now it's just gone. It is extremely heartbreaking for my family. As it was rumored that MVP is not on the internal WWE roster, Ringside News wrote that PW Insider reports that neither Lashley nor MVP have been released from the company. As of 8:30 a.m. on Monday, they are still listed on WWE's internal talent roster. While it is expected that they will depart when their contracts expire, a source noted that until contracts officially end, changes are always possible. MVP has been accusing Triple H of not wanting to bring back the Hurt Business on social media, as he seemingly reacted to the rumors of his impending departure from the company, posting the salute emoji on X. For more information on the WWE status of Bobby Lashley, PW Insider said, in the case of Bobby Lashley, we are told that there was a WWE contract offer made, but it wasn't one that immediately made him jump to sign, as one source commented, and that Lashley has strongly considered seeing what he would be worth out on the market. We were not able to confirm as of this writing when Lashley's current deal would expire. Lashley is still listed on the SmackDown roster internally. Lashley last wrestled in May. Going off the previous two stories, this was said regarding a potential reunion for the Hurt Business outside of WWE if MVP and Lashley end up leaving the promotion. As Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, I know there is talk of them trying to get into AEW. Technically, nobody can talk to them because their contracts haven't expired, but WWE is under the assumption they are leaving and plan to revamp the Hurt Business. Whether they'll use that name depends on ownership rights. They want Shelton Benjamin, who's also a free agent, to join them. This is something Tony Khan will have to decide, but it's definitely under consideration. It's not a done deal, but it's alive. As of now, Bobby Lashley and MVP will be gone from WWE when their contracts expire soon. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.